Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Income School. I've been asked a lot lately about how we're going to grow our authority, how we're going to strengthen our brands. A lot of us have a little website and we're just like a blog. So how do we turn this into a brand? In fact, a lot of people are like, companies spend millions and millions on branding. We can't do that, especially like as an independent blogger. How do I make a brand? Well, we're gonna talk a lot more about branding over the course of a lot of videos, but today, specifically, we're gonna go over a process that we have used to help grow the content on our website, as well as to make it more genuine and authentic and actually helpful for users, which in the days of the proliferation of crummy AI content, I think is a game changer. So let's jump right in. What we're talking about today is how to get more authors on your website. I had somebody ask me recently, should we be like collaborating a bunch with other bloggers to try to get multiple authors on our site? And the reason for this is, again, specifically Google, they seem to be favoring sites that seem more official, more legitimate. And so what are we doing? We're behaving more like businesses. We're putting more of those things on our website that make us look like we're a real business. And you are, by the way. If you're trying to make a website to make money, even if you're not making money yet, but that's your goal, that's your purpose, you're a business. So might as well act like it. And so we're doing all those things. But one of the things that makes a site look more established, more legitimate, is when there's more than just one person writing on it. And we actually saw in that Google leak, one of the things we saw was that Google actually has like a qualifier or something that they're like a modifier they're putting on websites that labels them as a small personal website. We don't want our websites to look like that. Not anymore, at least. So we need our websites to have more opinions, more views, more authors, because that's what businesses tend to do, I guess. So what do? Do we collaborate with a bunch of other bloggers? Sure. I think that's totally fine. In fact, I would love to see more bloggers collaborating with each other. If you find other people in your space that are willing to not be so cagey and not act like we're all competing with each other, we could actually support each other a lot more. So to that end, if you have a blog where any of your content overlaps in topic with any of my content on pantry preparedness, where I'm talking about, realistically, I'm talking about raising livestock, usually on a fairly small scale because it's kind of more for the average person. But a lot of livestock, homesteading skills, that kind of stuff. If you create content on any of those things and you want to collaborate, let's collaborate. I'll write some articles for you. You write some articles for my website. We get listed as authors on each other's websites. It's not about trading a backlink, but it is about making both of our websites be more authoritative and have more perspectives, more views, and more authors on those websites. So that's something that I'm willing to do. If you want to guest post, but you got to actually know the topic and write a piece of content that's unique for my audience. So if you're willing to do that, I'm willing to do that for you. We'll make a trade. That's one way to do it. Sure, absolutely. Another way to do it though, is to get people to write on your website who don't already have their own blog and who maybe aren't even writers, but who know your topic really well. This actually comes back to something we've done multiple times here. The very first season of our podcast for P24 members, Project 24. The very first season was about Camper Report and how we were going to take that and monetize it and make a lot more money with it. And one of the steps that we did in that season was we hired freelance writers, but instead of just hiring writers off of like a writing board or from Upwork or somewhere else, we hired people who use campers, who were RVing, people who were visiting our website. We basically advertised to them on our website saying, hey, you want to make some money on the side? Come write for us. And it was a perfect fit. And we actually had quite a few applicants, and those writers were great. When it came to the content that they wrote for us for Camper Report, that these actual campers wrote, we got great content. We got images, photos that they took from their own trips at their own campers. We had people who had done projects on their campers to customize them and who took pictures of the whole thing and gave write-ups about it on our website. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about how we made that happen, because we did the exact same thing when we started the website for our Backfire YouTube channel. And now I'm doing the same thing on my Project Double Time website. All right, here I am on this website, and you can see as I scroll down, what's that up here? Oh, look, it's a little hello bar is one of the things we call those. Really, I built this just using Kadence theme, elements. All right, then here, what do I want to put on this page? I want to give people a realistic idea of what to expect, right? So I'm saying, well, I'm hiring a team of writers, about 10. I want you to share your preparedness knowledge. And I'm saying right here, like this I can say because of our experience here. You know, this is a fairly new site, but our team has built some really big sites with a lot of traffic before. So this could be a good opportunity for you to get in early and get your name shared and recognized on a site that is gonna be big. So we're saying, hey, if you wanna get paid for your knowledge about this, about preparedness and self-reliance, earn a little bit of extra money for some of your preps, this could be a great opportunity. And then I just go into it, right? We're paying 5 cents a word. So you're gonna make $50, $100, or $150 based on the article length. And really that's kind of how we do it now. I don't really worry as much about word count today, by the way. But I do kind of specify sort of a target and I just give a flat amount. So whenever I have a freelance writer, I just say, hey, this is a $50 article. You write it, you get 50 bucks. I do expect it to be around 1,000 words long. But we assign the lengths, we give you the topics, and you go ahead and pick the articles you want to write and you write them. Now the cool thing here is, I'm not handing this to just a freelance writer. I'm handing it to someone who knows the topic. So if I have a bunch of gardening articles and I have a couple of writers who know gardening, they get to pick it, they get to take it, and they get to write whatever they would write. It's so much better, by the way, because when I've used people who are writers, who are trained writers, but don't necessarily know the topic very well, we're gonna get fairly generic advice. I want specific advice, I want opinion, I want experience, I want stories, I want all of that put into this article. Credit, as a writer, you'll have your bio appear on all the articles you write, so they get credit for their work. You can mention or link to your social media profiles and even your own website, if you have one, in the bio. So let me show you that. I've got it set up here so that the author of the article, in their bio, like I can specify their social media profiles right there. And so here we can link to his LinkedIn. And so I'm just gonna put that right there for every one of our freelance writers or guest writers as well. I also write about the schedule. If you're gonna write, if you're gonna work for me, I want you to write at least an article every month. If you wanna do this on your own website, you may have a different expectation. You may be like, hey, if I'm gonna train you to write, I want 3 articles a month. Ownership, this is an important thing to specify. I like to put it right here, right up front so people know, but when I bring somebody on as a freelance writer, they are gonna sign a contract, and that will make this more binding here. I'm gonna specify that whatever you write that I pay you for is mine. It's written under your name, you get credit for it, but I own the copyright. You can't go republish the same blog post somewhere else. I paid you for that. On the other hand, something that I've changed from wording that we've used in the past, we've said before that any media you upload to the website is ours. I don't think that's very fair. If somebody took their own photos and they upload them to my website, they're still their photos. They're gonna use them for personal use and they might wanna use them on their own blog. And I don't wanna limit what photos they'll put on my website because they're photos that they already used on their own website or that they wanna use on their own website. So, well, I'm not gonna put them on Pantry Preparedness because then I can't use them anymore. No, I'm saying if you put a photo or a video or whatever on my website, you're giving me license to use it. I can use it as long as I want. You can't come back to me in 10 years and say, hey, that was mine, take it down. You can ask me to, but legally I won't have to do it. So you get to keep ownership of all your other media, but we are licensed to use it. Cool? And then other legal stuff, basically we're like, this is a freelance gig, you're an independent contractor, we'll send you a 1099 tax form at the start of the next year. This is owned by Income School LLC. Now you might be asking like, why would you ever pay someone to write an article for you when you have AI? AI can write an article for me, and yes, maybe it's not gonna be perfect, but I just, add my own personal flavor, some of my own anecdotes, maybe some personal stories, my opinion, and we're good, right? But again, like we talked about at the very beginning, I think there's gonna be real value in your website having multiple authors on it. But realistically, like, we're at the point where Google's gonna look and try to find social media profiles for these authors. Like if you have a link to a real social media profile for an author, then it's easy for Google to look and see, oh, that's a real person. Now, once again, you could fake it and steal other people's social media profiles and pretend to write under some other person's name. You're just asking for trouble. Just do things right and don't lie about stuff. And that's gonna make your life way easier, all right? That's a good rule to live by the way. Don't lie a bunch. So now I have this application form. This form I just built on JotForm. JotForm is a really good form builder. There's lots of form builders out there, and we even have one tied into our CRM and everything. But I really like JotForm for a lot of functionality. This form itself took me like minutes to build. In fact, what took the longest was me just like customizing these questions, right? If you want, you can even build your forms so that it's like one question and then they click next, next question, next question, click next. So it's like one question at a time. I kind of prefer one longer form so people can see like, how long is this application really? So that's my preference. All right, so they fill it out, they click submit. I get an email, I look it over. What am I looking for? I just want to see that they have actual experience. And in their answers to these questions, these longer questions, I want them to have written more than like 10 words. I want to see that they are capable of writing. If they seem like they probably have the experience, you know, I might go check out their social medias. In fact, I was going to add that. I think I'm going to add one more question that gives a long text box here, but it's just like paste in here the links to all your relevant social media profiles. But the idea is try to see, do they have reasonable experience? If it seems like it could be a good fit and they like actually answered all my questions, the first thing that I'll do is I'll give them a topic to write an article about. And I say, I'm going to pay you for this article, but it's a trial. If I'm not going to hire them, I'm not going to use their article. So we don't need the contract before that. If I decide I want to use the article, then I'm going to have them sign the contract, which gives me permission to use that article. So they write an article. If you want to, you can give them some basic training on how to write in the way that you want them to write. We've done that in the past by filming like a 20-minute little video. It just kind of walks through like, here's kind of the structure of a good blog post. You can write these different types of blog posts and they need to have these different elements. And here's the tone I'd like you to take, but of course be yourself. This can be pretty simple. You could set it up in about an hour and a half. I've been meaning to do this, by the way, for like 2 months. And now that this is like what I'm showing you in YouTube videos, it's like actually giving me the time to actually do the things on my website that I need to do. All right, so now we're gonna magically get a whole bunch of applications, right? No, that's actually probably not what's gonna happen. Over the next little while, maybe over the next month, we might get 1 or 2, and that's okay. Especially right now because Google's not sending any traffic to anybody. But we got Pinterest going. I'm getting reasonable traffic actually from Bing and DuckDuckGo. We've got traffic from the YouTube channel. And by the way, I might even go mention that over on the YouTube channel for this website. Like, hey, if you make content or want to write an article or something like that, go check this out. And I think with all those avenues, we're going to be able to get some applications over the next little bit. And that's going to help us, one, be able to start to add more content to the website, of course, but also it's going to help us add more authority to the website and more opinions and more different perspectives to the website, which is going to make it a better resource. Anyway, I hope you'll continue following me on this journey. Of course, we're going to make videos all the time here talking about lots of different things related to content marketing, internet marketing, what's working today, how we're going to build successful brands. But this is the case study of the brand that we're building right now. And I think it's going to be awesome. And if you're interested in any of the tools that I talked about in this video, like the Kadence theme, the Jotform, I'll put links in the description because they're awesome tools. And I use them both all the time. And that's it for today. If you found this helpful, then I think you're going to find our other videos helpful. So go check out that one right there because I think it's going to be super helpful for you. We'll see you all there.